3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. And his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Thank you, Jesse, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 69th episode of
Jesus.
That House with the Unbreakable Spirit and
I'm
the
the
Executioner.
executioner, Daniel Travis. That's
I
my
am
stick.
the Unbreakable. Yeah, but I try to beat you every time.
Damn. Anyway,
Anyways, let's run through the topics.
topic number 1.
Ric Flair says Tony Khan can improve AEW by letting someone else book the show.
Number 2.
Our thoughts on the WWE 2K23 roster ratings reveal.
Number 3.
The Elimination Chamber results. And who will be stopping them? I don't think we should do this episode because it would be hard to hear.
Alright.
Anyways,
Anyway.
let's hop into topic number 1. Take it away.
Okay. Ric Flair says that Tony Khan can improve AEW by having someone else book the show. I quite frankly agree with that because I honestly believe that AEW, they need someone, who kind of understands the wrestling business better to run the show, but they also need an on-screen authority figure.
Yes. I agree with that.
Your takes, timer?
My takes are, and the timer is going. I don't
Yeah,
forget every week anymore.
Fair enough. But continue.
I unsurprisingly agree with you. AEW, it just seems like the Wild Wild West in a way, if that makes sense.
I mean, because, don't get me wrong, some of the story, Tony Khan does some good storytelling on occasion, but most of the time it's just you can kind of just tell where shit is. With Tony Khan writing, and I hate to be the guy to say this, but I know I'm probably not the first, but I feel like with Tony Khan, I feel like if they get someone else to write it, I feel like that you wouldn't be, it's kind of obvious where the ship is going. I wanted to be able to tune into Dynamite or Rampage, or mostly Dynamite, because since Rampage is literally just main event.
It's like I was gonna say it's like the main events or NXT level up of AEW.
Yeah, because if you got
would that make AEW Dark the Superstars?
Yeah, and I think Evolution, the main event, I think it'd make it the
Evolution would probably be the level up because Evolution leveling up, Anyways, back on topic.
But what I was saying is, don't get me wrong. I think because if I'm tuning into Rampage, what I was saying is I don't want to be able to tune into Rampage and kind of the only person that honestly makes me interested to see where something is going to go is when MJF's involved. But other than that, I kind of just don't really care. None of the really storylines get me honest invested in AEW, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, but I think the best way to compare this is to WWE when Vince was in control of creative. With the way Vince booked the show and how the matches went, you could tell who was gonna win by the offset of the match.
Yeah, but it's just like what I was saying is every time that MJF is involved, you don't. He's the only kind of guy, whether like the MJF or the Adam Coles, and like if you're like an ex WWE star, you kind of get me invested depending on what you're doing. But like anytime MJF's involved, you really have no idea where shit is going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, MJF, this is an actual thing, but hell, MJF was cutting a promo on the crowd while they were on commercial break. He's that good.
Yeah, or it was like a Roman Reigns thing where he was being booed after defeating The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Able to talk at the top of Raw, they cut to commercial. The fans were still booing him back from commercial, and they were still booing him. Like you remember that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, my honest take is meh. And I also want to say this. AEW has a lot of people who get like, I know this is like a TV 14 company, but I've also noticed that like people get like busted up like every other week.
Yeah. And it's not just the men that get busted open either.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. But my honest take on today on topic with I think that you should get somebody who, whether it be like someone who has been in the business, maybe like someone who actually knows how to run a wrestling company, not Vince. Get someone else outside of Vince to book your wrestling company, and you could focus on the behind the scenes stuff. And
yeah,
also,
if I may give my personal opinion about this,
yeah.
if you do get someone to book your show for you, don't make it Eric Bischoff. That'll kill your company.
And then
Eric was
you're
in
not.
charge of WCW, and look what happened.
Yeah, but that is a fair point. I also want to say is I think that Tony Khan should get someone, because another thing that I will say is that don't get, and I want to share this actually real quick is don't get me wrong, Tony Khan, having the win-loss record, that does make every match important, but when you have someone like your TBS champion who's like 53-0, it kind of just like, who the fuck cares? Like, you're just like, oh, okay, she's gonna win.
Yeah, she's like the Brock Lesnar of the TBS Championship division. As in, she's on top and never loses.
Yeah.
But we're probably going to return to this sort of at a later date. We didn't really cover what the topic was titled, but we sort of did, I guess.
Yeah, great. Whatever. We'll
be back with topic 2. And we are back with topic number 2. Earlier this week,
yesterday.
As of this recording yesterday,
yeah,
Up, Down, Down hosted the ratings reveal for WWE 2K23, which was kind of a lie considering they only revealed like 40 overalls.
Yeah.
And also revealed Tyler Breeze is going to be on the game.
And
that he and Xavier will be playable GMs in my GM.
Yeah. No, I will say some of the overall reveals, like Cody Rhodes being a 91, not surprising.
Yeah, some of them I believe Chelsea actually attacked the person who revealed her overall because she went down, apparently.
Um.
Poor Greg.
Yeah. What are your thoughts like on some of the overalls reveals?
Becky Lynch being a 96 is crazy.
Yeah, but the
That
one,
made her the highest rated woman in the history of WWE games.
but also I feel it kind of weird that you didn't mention the overall for Braun Breaker. You didn't mention the overall to John Cena or
But
any other.
I explained the Cena to you. That
Yeah,
makes sense to me. Multiple versions, different.
yeah. Okay, the one person that I will admit was surprising that didn't get a rating reveal are two people: Solo Sikoa and
Yeah,
Roman
since he'll be
Reigns.
on disc. Yeah, or just the only members of the bloodline that got an overall reveal
With the
are the
Usos.
Usos.
I mean, like, you're not telling me that the head of the like what? Like seriously, somebody explain to me. Someone explain to me while the undisputed Universal Champion, a man who has been dominating WWE for 3 fucking years, doesn't have an overall.
Maybe Heyman will reveal it at a later date. He did that last year.
Yeah. I will say, like, Austin Theory being at 83,
I thought it was an 82.
Right. I was a little bit surprised with his.
He was pissed about that. Like, was he like an 81 on this game on
Yeah.
2K22? So I only went up by 1 point. And with the year he's had, I can kind of understand why he was pissed.
Yeah. Like, okay, and I want to share this thought, but the Judgment Day, I will admit, some of those ratings I was a bit surprised about.
Yeah, like Dom and Rhea, I'm not gonna call her what he calls her because that would sound weird out of context.
Yeah.
They said every member of the Judgment Day would be 100.
I mean, honestly, my honest take is, out of all the Judgment Day members, I thought Rhea was gonna be at least an 89.
But she was an 87.
Yeah.
Same as Finn Balor. Wasn't Damien lower than Dom?
Yep.
That was surprising to me. And it doesn't look like Dominic is updated.
Which is kind of weird.
I mean, personally, I'm okay with it because I didn't complete showcase mode on this game. On 2K22, I should say. And on 2K23, I won't have to complete Dom.
Yeah. All you really gotta do is just change this car. If all you really gotta do is just add purple and black.
Yeah, that should be an easy enough attire to make.
Yeah, but I will admit, like, some of these overalls, like Cody Rhodes, like the Usos being like a 90, like one of the Usos being like a 90 and the other one having an 89. I was a bit surprised considering, like, considering how dominant the Usos have been, that is a bit surprising.
Yeah. One thing I want to mention, I did watch the ratings review, admittedly a little late, but I got to see some of the games. Big E apparently saw Becky Lynch's overall review, and he got that that question on the game wrong. He heard Greg tell Becky she was a 96, and he got it wrong.
Yeah, my honest take, yeah, that is honestly crazy. But,
And apparently, like, these reveals were pre-taped at the Rumble.
oh.
Like, legitimately at the Rumble. They couldn't have gotten the tribal chief right was there.
Yeah, agreed.
But hopefully more overalls released throughout the weeks in the lead up to 2K23, which I'm excited to get my hands on since I pre-ordered the deluxe edition.
I am so excited, even though I could have gotten the deluxe edition, but I wanted
Yeah,
to
you
save
have
my
money
money.
for it.
I do,
Fair
but
enough.
I wanted to save my money. All right, anyway.
Yeah, we'll be back with the results of the prediction battle, and I hope Travis remembers he has this note. We'll be back with
Got
Topic
it.
3.
Hello, everybody. We are back with the third and final topic. It is the prediction battle results.
I hurt
for
my hands with that trap.
For the next couple of days to WrestleMania.
So literally episode 74.
Jesus Christ.
That means the results of our WrestleMania special will be the monumental 75th episode.
Yeah, great. Okay, anyway, I'm going to do it in the order that was predicted. Alright. We had the U.S. Elimination Chamber, which before we say who won, I will say the only thing that I was disappointed is that they didn't do the title being raised before the chamber started.
Do they normally do that before a chamber?
Sometimes, but yeah.
But anyways, the match, in my opinion, was
very good.
Okay.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't good. I'm just saying it could have been better.
How so?
More same spots, less obvious eliminations.
But yeah,
But yeah, hello? Where'd you go? Oh, you're back.
Sorry, I accidentally swiped out. That was my fucking bad.
Okay.
But yeah, so Matthew had Gargano, Theory,
And Bronson Reed.
Yeah. I will admit, I had Rollins, Priest, and Ford. I thought the two MVPs of this match were honestly Bronson Reed and Montez Ford.
Yeah, Montez Ford went crazy.
Yes. And
I mean, his wife says he's crazy anyway, so.
And then, yeah, anyway, the winner of that match was, because Matthew won, even though, we all thought, oh, yeah, Seth, Montez got injured, but it was kind of obvious that it wasn't really an injury. It was just to get the door open, just for Logan Paul to...
Just to set up a WrestleMania match.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the next match was...
Yeah, Theory retained his title, basically, and that gave me 1 point.
Yeah, basically. Matthew won. Basically, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
the only thing that I didn't get is I'm like, wait, so, I, you know, actually, I have one problem with that finish that is right when Logan Paul hit Seth Rollins with the curve stop. Why the hell did Theory need to hit his finisher? Why didn't he just go for the pin off of that?
I guess he wanted to do it on his own. I don't know.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if I was a heel and someone beat up.
And also, can we just talk about how Logan can't decide which side of the fence to be on? Like,
Yeah.
Can we? We'll table that for another episode.
Oh, yeah. The next one was the women's elimination chamber.
Yeah.
Matthew who did you have in this one?
I believe Natalia. I put RR, which I assume is Ronda Rousey, since it can't be Rhea Ripley.
Ronda Rousey wasn't even in the chamber.
But
Raquel.
Right, Raquel Rodriguez, right. And I had Carmella.
Yeah. I had Liv, Nikki, and Asuka.
Yeah, the Nikki being Nikki Cross.
Yes. Now I will say this match was all right.
Could have been better.
Could have been better.
I feel like that's just the descriptor for Elimination Chamber in a nutshell.
Yeah. Asuka won, which gave me the fall, which is with the role that Asuka's been on since her bringing her comic character. I feel
like she's returned to her NXT brutality.
Yeah, which if you're Bianca Belair, good luck.
I believe Asuka was the person to end Bianca's undefeated streak in NXT.
No. Wait.
I said Asuka was the one to end Bianca's.
No, that was Shayna.
Okay, whatever.
Because it was back in the day when Shayna was like, I am going to be the best and blah, blah, blah. When she was going up again. Back in the day when Shayna Baszler was NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah.
Anyway, great match. Asuka won.
I'm excited to see Bianca versus Asuka at WrestleMania.
Fun fact for everyone, Asuka is the only female superstar to win the Women's Rumble, Money in the Bank, and Elimination Chamber. The only people that have done that are John Cena, Randy Orton, and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, and those are obviously men. So Asuka,
and Edge, of course.
Asuka, I'm probably gonna start calling her Asuka because the
nice
face paint.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see that at WrestleMania. Let's go.
Yep. All right, the next match
was the main event.
Well, no, we got two more.
I know, I'm just saying where it was in the actual card was main event.
Yeah, I'll come back to the Roman Reigns main event match last.
Okay.
Save the best. We got the Grid
Couple.
Save the
best for last.
We got the Grid Couple versus Judgment Day. That shit was amazing.
Yeah. The outcome was surprising though.
Yeah. Hell, I will admit I was surprised that they even that the Grid Couple even hit the Shadow Machine, which was like a big what the hell? I know they're very close friends with FTR, but that was very unexpected. Yeah. But also, with this being the first time Beth Phoenix and Rhea Ripley have crossed paths, I hope they have these two go down the road in a one-on-one match down the road.
I mean, the next of the Big Four is the biggest party of the summer.
True. I mean, because Beth still has some unfinished business with Rhea.
Yeah.
Make that a last one. Hell, this is what I want to see. Rhea Ripley versus Beth Phoenix for the SmackDown Women's Championship under a last woman standing match.
I would be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah. And then the match that I thought was kind of the weakest match of the night, like really the weakest, was Brock Lesnar versus.
We should probably mention that I got that. I won the previous match.
Matthew won that. Yeah.
Match, the one he said the weakest. I kind of agree, especially with the finish.
Yeah. So the match just had a bunch of spears, F5s. Lashley got the Hurt Lock locked in.
And Brock kicked him in the gonads to get out.
Yeah.
Blatantly in front of the referee, causing a disqualification.
Yeah. I thought, no, I personally, I don't know if that's the end, but I hope it's not the end, because I want to see if these two have a needs to be a stipulation match.
Watch them have a fourth round at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Anyway, which I got the fall, by the way.
Yeah, which means it comes down to the main event. At this point, we were tied 2 apiece.
Yes, the main event, which was the undisputed Universal Championship. The hometown boy, Sami Zayn, versus Roman Reigns, who perfectly acted like a heel.
I have to say, this was probably match of the night for me, actually.
Yeah.
Like we said, Montez went off. This match was insane.
Yeah.
Though I expected Sami to get a bigger pop.
Yeah. I thought the match was very good, very back and forth. Michael Cole definitely, showed why he's one of the great commentators of all time.
I wish Pat McAfee had been on commentary for this match.
Yeah, great match. At one point when Jey Uso thought, when Roman Reigns handed Jey Uso the chair, I thought, oh no. It's
Why
gonna
haven't
happen.
you learned your lesson, Roman?
But then
he did. He totally did.
He's like,
fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah, great match.
Fool me twice, I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, great match.
And you mentioned this when we were watching the event. You mentioned that with the Montreal crowd, you mentioned that you could tell who's the heel and who's the face.
Yeah. Most times you go to wrestling or you watch wrestling event on TV or a pay-per-view, you really just can't tell who's the bad guy, who's the good guy. But this one,
it's hard to just wrestling fans, while vocal, exercise the right to be entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah, because hell, I was watching this, but I actually saw a clip on this online, But when Sammy was trying to get Roman's face, Roman Reigns was such, playing the part of a heel that he literally was just like, he like was like a, he's just like, it was just being a dick. It was like,
Yeah. Like Roman, I like the fact that Roman's not playing the part of a chicken shit heel like Theory should have done in the Elimination Chamber.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, and you will take it like a bitch. Heel.
Yeah, he's just like, it's like, bro, I know I'm gonna win.
Because I'm going to the main event of Mania to smash the American Nightmare.
Yeah, Roman Reigns won, which I lost. I wasn't really surprised about that, honestly.
Yeah, when I called it, I knew with our punishment that I did not want to slap myself 3 times.
I'll do it right now, in fact. 1,
all right.
2, 3, done.
All right.
But
yeah,
I want to say something real quick before we end this podcast episode. I want to share my thoughts on Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. I am 100% honest when I mean every word I'm about to say is, I honestly am not sure if Cody Rhodes beating Roman Reigns is honestly believable. Like, I honestly am not sure if anyone in the WWE universe would even get behind Cody if he pulls that off. Because with everyone, with how much everyone is behind Sami Zayn, that I feel like that they might even boo him out of the building. Worse than Roman.
Yeah, and like I told you about that thing on Facebook, someone was dumb enough to think someone under contract with AEW could beat Roman Reigns.
I mean, because what I want to see from Roman Reigns during this program, I know this is kind of random, but I'm sorry, but I need to get this out of my system, is I want to see Roman Reigns really, like, if you want to see Roman Reigns act like a total evil bitch, evil dick. Like, I want him to act like a total asshole. Be like, bro, Cody, you think you can beat me? It's like, I honestly, me as a wrestling fan, I don't know if I can even believe that,
something I want Roman or Heyman to, I want Roman to say in a promo is like, Cody, you think you can beat me? You may be able to smash a throne, but you can't break the table which I am the head of.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I need to end this, say this, and then we can cut it. With Cody Rhodes being, like, since his return, like, he's had 3 matches, came out, was out of action for 9 months, came back, won the Rumble, and we're just supposed to believe that Cody Rhodes could dethrone Roman Reigns?
Actually, no, that I think about it, he's actually had 4.
4, right, the Rumble.
I actually thought you were counting that. I was talking about the one against Finn Balor.
Oh, right, that too. But, right, all those matches that we're just supposed to believe that you're able to beat a guy who's in his 900th plus day as Universal Champion.
Yeah. Like, I hate to say it because I'm a Georgia boy at heart. I was born in Roswell. I want to root for the leader of the Nightmare Factory, the grandson of a plumber, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. But at the end of the day of WrestleMania Night 2, Nightmare Country might be acknowledging the relevancy.
Yeah, Cody Rhodes, you may be the Nightmare, but Roman Reigns is the Nightmare. Roll that outro.
Yeah, Cody, you may be the American Nightmare, but Roman is your worst nightmare.
Bye.
Acknowledge him and roll that outro. Thank you for listening to At Odds, hosted by the Unbreakable Spirit
And the Executioner.
edited by the Unbreakable Spirit. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at MTS_life_0126.
You can follow me on Instagram at DanTravis121, and you can also follow me on the Twitter at DanTheExecutioner21.
And you can follow the podcast at Odds Podcast. We'll be back next week with more debates and discussions. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.
Thank you, losers.